Hey guys, my name is Amr, and today I'm going to run through a quick way you can use your online banking to organize your personal finances in a big way. So a great way to stay organized is by creating multiple accounts within your online banking that all have specific functions. And the idea behind using multiple accounts is pretty simple. It's all about compartmentalizing your funds. And by separating your money based on its intended use, you can gain better control over your finances and achieve your financial goals more effectively. So I'm going to be touching on three key things today. One, how to set up your accounts. Two, which accounts to have. And three, automating your transfers. And just keep in mind that this is all about organization. So let's get into it. Number one, how to set up your new accounts. This is going to be pretty straightforward. You'll need to contact your bank and get set up with online banking. If you already have online banking set up, you're one step ahead. You'll just need to log in and request to open up an additional account or multiple additional accounts. And most banks should have this option available online. I know I've done it before with a few different banks in the past, but in any case, if you're having trouble, reach out to your bank and just have them help you out with that. One thing to be aware of is that checkings and savings accounts operate differently from the bank's perspective. At a basic level, checking accounts usually have fees, whereas savings accounts usually do not have fees. And we can get a little bit more granular on it. Some accounts will have monthly fees, some will waive the fee if you keep a balance above a certain amount. Some accounts will allow 5 free transactions per month before they start charging a fee, and the list kind of goes on and on and on. So there are a few things there to figure out, but again, the bank will explain all of that to you. And at the end of the day, if this is a bit overwhelming, just find out what you're using the account for and choose the lowest fee option available. And now let's get into which accounts to set up. So now this part will vary person to person based on your own financial goals and how you like to organize things. I'll give a nice overview of what might work for most people, and I'll leave it to you to tailor your own needs. The 4 accounts I'll touch on are the main operating account, the savings account, the emergency fund, and the vacation fund. So let's get into it. We'll start with the main operating account. This is an account that you probably already have. It's likely where your paychecks are deposited and where your bills are paid out of. We can call this account your main account, and theoretically it should already exist. The purpose of this account is to collect your money and then disperse your money to your different accounts. The next account is the savings account. The only real reason to have a dedicated savings account is if you're saving for a large purchase. This could be a down payment for a house or a lump sum payment for a car or any other big purchase that requires a large amount of cash. And what I will say about this account is to make sure there is some interest being earned here. It might not seem like much, but if you're saving for a down payment that takes 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, you can accumulate a decent amount of interest income on that money while you're saving it, which helps you reach your goals a little bit faster at the end of the day. The next account we're going to talk about is the emergency fund. This is for rainy days, and especially in an economic environment like we're in today, you should try and have enough money set aside to get you through at least 2 to 3 months worth of expenses. So that means if your income were to go to zero, you have enough money to pay your expenses for about 2 to 3 months while you're planning what your next move is. The amount you keep in your emergency fund will vary from person to person based on your own circumstances. And if you're super conservative, you might be keeping a 6-month fund, but if you're kind of living on the edge or you feel a little bit more secure in your job, you may only keep a 1 or 2-month fund. One note to add here is that having an emergency fund can be a great tool for financial comfort. There is so much value in having money set aside for a rainy day, and the value isn't just financial. 52% of adults say that money negatively impacts their mental health by causing them stress. That's a pretty big number. By having an emergency fund, however, you can help alleviate some of that financial stress. The next account we're going to talk about is a vacation fund. This is very important. Make sure you're putting money aside for vacation. Vacation should be seen as a great way to reset your mind, and don't look at this as a waste of money because it is definitely a value add activity. Now, having said that, keep in mind that if your emergency fund and your savings accounts are at zero, You should focus all of your attention on those two accounts before you put anything in your vacation fund. Those two accounts are very, very, very important, and they should come first. And I just want to end this section off with a quick note to reiterate that you should only be saving and stockpiling large amounts of cash for two reasons. One is to make a big purchase, and two is for an emergency fund. And you want to make sure that these accounts have some sort of interest earning component to them. And finally, let's talk about automating your transfers. What this means is setting up your banking to automatically move money from one account to another. How we do this is very easy through your online banking. You can log in and set up monthly transfers or weekly transfers that happen automatically every month. And the most efficient way to do this is to line it up with your paycheck. So every 2 weeks or twice a month or monthly, however you're being paid. So why automate? There are a lot of benefits of automating your finances. It actually increases the likelihood of saving money. It also takes the guesswork out. You don't have to remember to log in every month to make some transfers that you're doing every month anyways. It'll free up a lot of your mind space. So just clear your mind of these repetitive tasks related to finances that you have to do every month. And the bottom line is that saving money is not an easy thing to do. Up to 39% of people have less than $400 in their savings or emergency funds. So if something comes up, they're likely not going to be able to pay for that without using credit. And that's a category or statistic that you do not want to fall into. So just an example of what this looks like in practice. Let's say your paycheck comes in on the 15th of the month for $3,000 and it gets deposited into your main operating account. On the 16th of the month, you have auto transfer set up and they might look something like this. So the $3,000 comes into the main account. $500 automatically gets transferred to the emergency account. $500 automatically gets transferred to the savings account, and $200 automatically gets transferred to the vacation account. And the remaining $1,800 stays in your operating account to pay your bills, such as car payment, visa, and any other items that you spend your money on. You have to obviously play with these numbers and find out what works for you. And I have another video called Managing Your Personal Finances that can help with that, and I'll add a link to that below. Now, this might sound like it's too easy, but that's because it is. And by doing this, it will give you a clear picture of exactly where your savings are and how you're doing compared to your goals every single time you log into online banking. It's like having your own personal dashboard available. So just to summarize, there's no need to overcomplicate this one. You can probably get everything set up in half an hour and you're good to go. One thing I do want to add is that once you reach your savings goals, whatever they might be, it's okay to celebrate your wins. Incentivizing yourself to hit your goals is not a crime, and I would actually encourage it because it almost trains yourself to achieve your goals using positive reinforcement. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, check out my other video on managing your personal finances, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.